So last night I watched Paolo Sorrentino's This Must Be the Place, which was expiring on Netflix. That's why I finally watched it. So you can't watch it. Sorry, guys. No, it'll probably come back. I don't know. I don't know if I loved it, but I definitely liked it. I loved Sean Penn's performance. I know a lot of critics, one critic in particular I read, found it astonishingly annoying. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I could see why you could be annoyed by that kind of person. But at the same time, that's sort of the point, I think. Like, he was very much a lived-in character, and that's why Sean Penn's such a great actor, you know? And he really felt like, it didn't feel like you were watching Sean Penn. It felt like you were watching this retired rock star, quasi-based on appearance-wise, Robert Smith. I love Paolo Sorrentino. I actually haven't seen El Divo, but last year's The Great Beauty was one of my favorite movies, like, hands down. I loved it so much. And I love the way that Sorrentino, he uses, like, he swoops into places, and he holds his camera on things that maybe aren't important for the story, but they are for the world that he's creating. And I really, really, really dig that. So this film takes place in Dublin and in a couple places in America. And he made Dublin look insanely beautiful. And the places that he filmed in America, it was New York, but it didn't. It was like the tree-lined streets part of New York where people live, and not the skyscrapers. And then he was in, like, I don't remember, it was like Wisconsin or something, in a bar, and like it totally looked like the people that lived there. Like, one of them kind of looked like Shelley Duvall, but like even stranger looking, which is insane and beautiful. And I wish we could have faces like that more often in cinema, instead of these like a million actresses and extras and things that look exactly the same. It's really boring. And I think it takes like an outsider like Sorrentino to come in and see just how many different faces we have in America and go, well, that's what we need to show, because all of his extras were sort of amazing looking. And his set design, because he's just so great. And then at some point he's in New Mexico and a diner, and that was beautiful. I love diners. With a waitress in a classic diner uniform. Yeah. And the world's largest pistachio. Amazing. That's actually on my road trip list if I ever do my Southwest road trip that I've been planning for years. Because how can you not see the world's largest pistachio? I don't care if it's a sculpture. It's fantastic. And they go to Utah, and there's a lot of like stilted conversations and awkward people, and it felt more like photographing real people rather than actors in a story, which part of me is like, yeah, and part of me is like, kind of like the smoothness of cinema. I don't know. So it's hard to pick, hard to say. And then the story is very strange. Strange story. I don't really want to spoil it. You can read a synopsis. Eve Hewson was in it. I've seen so much with her this month because she's the nurse on the Nick, and then she was the daughter. Enough said, oh my God, Tony Soprano. Why can't I remember his name? Well, that actor. It was his daughter in Enough Said, and she was great in that, and then she's great in the Nick, and then she was in this. She got to be actually like Irish in this, which was great to see. Had a great score. Has a really, really fantastic live performance from David Byrne mixed in there. You can't go wrong with David Byrne. You just can't. What else? Frances McDormand's in it. She sort of felt like she's playing herself. It wasn't like, it was good because she's always good, but it wasn't like a superb McDormand or anything. I don't know. I didn't quite get the ending. someone wants to explain the ending to me in the comments, they go for it, because I don't quite know what it was supposed to mean. But I do love Sorrentino, and this just made me want to watch more of his films, because he's such a conscious filmmaker, and he wants you to know you're watching a movie, and he creates specific movie worlds, and he really utilizes the tools of cinema to bring you into a cinematic world, and I just really, really dig that. So I'm gonna have to think about this one for a bit. Maybe watch it again at some point. I feel like maybe it's a movie that rewards you upon repeat viewings, because the first time you watch it, you're just sort of getting into the strangeness of it all. Oh, and I would also like to point out that when I say something is strange, I don't mean that as derogatory at all. I love strange. I think strange is just the opposite of ordinary. And ordinary, if I say something is ordinary, then I'm probably insulting it, because ordinary is kind of boring. Except for that one Oprah Winfrey movie, Magic of Ordinary Days. That's a fantastic movie. It's got Carrie Russell and Skeet Ulrich. It's a good movie. It's like the only time ordinary is okay. That was a tangent and I did not expect to go on. But, so, yes. Try to find This Must Be the Place. See what you think. Seek out the Magic of Ordinary Days.